Hi there, and welcome to our channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Priya, and I'm a partner at Mac Kotecha and Company, the specialist dental accountants. So just a really quick video today. I haven't done one in a while, and it is to do with buying equipment. Something I get asked a lot is, I've got a big tax bill coming up. Should I just buy some equipment to reduce my tax? And when I get asked that, the first thing I do is to make sure that you understand exactly what tax relief means. Because sometimes there can be a little bit of confusion, and some people think that tax relief means that the whole amount of what you're actually spending on equipment gets deducted from your tax. So if I've told you, or your accountant has told you, that your tax is expected to be £10,000, and if you buy equipment for £5,000, you might expect that your tax bill would come down by £5,000 to £5,000. I should have picked better figures so that it is not so confusing. Now, that's not how it works. You get tax relief on how much you have spent on equipment. So that means that sorry, I just noticed a really wispy bit of hair here. That means that you have the whole amount of what you've spent on equipment being deducted from your profit before you pay tax. So going back to that example, if you've spent £5,000 on equipment, your tax is going to come down by, if you're a 40% taxpayer, 40% of 5,000, not the full 5,000. So that's important because obviously you don't want to buy equipment just for the tax relief, because yes, your tax bill goes down by 40% of what you've spent, but you are still down by 60%. If you look at your cash in your pocket, you're still down by 60% of whatever you've spent on equipment. So if it's just a case of, do I bring something forward when I was thinking of buying it anyway? Yes, by all means. I mean, of course, don't take that as advice. You need to check with your accountant first, or check with me if I'm your accountant. But I wouldn't buy equipment just so that you can save tax. It doesn't really work that way. So now we've got that out of the way. The next thing is, how do you actually buy the equipment? So there are really three main ways. You can buy cash, and it doesn't mean physically, obviously, giving out wads of cash. We just mean using money that's in your bank account. Then hire purchase, or HP, which confusingly some people also refer to as lease purchase, which is confusing when the third option is actually leasing, which is not the same as lease purchase. So whether you buy cash or whether you buy hire purchase or lease purchase, you're actually buying the equipment. You own the equipment on day one of when the lease starts, even though the lease purchase starts, even though you may be paying for it over 3 years, for example, you still own the equipment on day one. So it's literally like buying the equipment and taking out a loan. So you're getting exactly the same relief on the equipment as you would if you were buying cash. The only thing is you're also getting relief on any interest that you're paying. So that's fine. Excuse me. Leasing is completely different. So with leasing, you're actually not buying the equipment. You're almost renting the equipment. So that means that instead of getting full relief on day one, as you would if you bought using cash or hire purchase, the relief is actually spread out with the payments that you're making. So if you're paying lease payments over, say, 3 years, it means you're going to get relief on your lease payments every year of those 3 years. So you're actually getting the same relief, but over 3 years. So really, when you're looking at which of the options you go through or go for, if you've got the money in your bank account, then paying cash is good. Unless you're getting a 0% interest deal for your hire purchase, in which case it's a no-brainer, go for that. Sorry, I should say, when I say go for that, I'm technically, please don't take this as advice. This is just meant to be a generic. Obviously, it depends on your own circumstances. Sorry, that sounds like a disclaimer. So that's the, where was I? So that's the equipment, yes. I completely forgot where I was, and I'm just wondering whether I should start again or not. No, I'm going to carry on. So if it's cash, then go for it. That's as we've just said. If you are going to get a 0% deal, then the hire purchase is good. If it's not a 0% deal, but you can actually do something else with the money that's sitting in your bank account where you're earning more interest than you are actually paying on the HP, then perhaps makes sense to go HP as well. So that's buying. Now, when you're looking at buying versus leasing, you need to look at how much you're going to pay on each of the separate deals. Now, if it's a lease deal, then obviously once you get to the end of the 3 years, that's it. You give your equipment back and you have to start a new deal. So if you're going to be keeping the equipment for longer than 3 years, then maybe the hire purchase is better, potentially, but it depends on the amounts. With some leases, you do also have something where you can pay something at the end of the lease term, and then you actually get the equipment. So you actually own the equipment at the end. So that's another option. Sometimes when you're going for leasing, you might prefer it because maybe they give you servicing with it, or they give you free updates or free upgrades or something like that as well. So that's another option. The last thing I want to say, because sometimes it can be really confusing when you're looking at an agreement and you don't know whether is this a lease purchase, is it a lease? Really easy way to tell is look at the actual agreement. If they're saying to you, every month you are going to pay X plus VAT, then it's a lease, like a rent. If, on the other hand, they're saying every month you're paying this many, you're paying, 48 installments of this with this much every month, then it's lease purchase. Because with a lease purchase, you have the price of the equipment, including VAT, and that's then divided by 12. With the leasing, it's X amount excluding VAT, and then plus VAT. So that's an easy way. I don't know, actually, it sounds quite complicated the way I've just explained it, but that should be an easier way of assessing whether something is lease purchase versus lease purchase. I hope that's been useful, a little bit rambly, but if there are any comments or there's anything that you'd like me to cover, please leave me a comment and I will do my best. Thank you for watching. Bye.